Hello everyone! Last weekend I hit Legend in GBL Season 11 and I wanted to hit it with Pikachu Libre, but I tried and after failing 7 times I gave up and just hit it with a super strong team instead, which consists of Bastiodon, Froslass and Trevenant. Every time I failed to reach Legend with Pika Libre, I just climbed back up again with this team, and I had roughly 70% win rate with this at the lower part of the leaderboard, so it really is a top tier team if that's what you're looking for. Anyways, here is my Legend set. My first opponent is Pogo Champion JC, and he leads with a Lickitung, which is amazing for Bastiodon, because these licks only deal 1 damage each, compared to, for example, Galarian Stunfisk that take 2 damage for each lick. And as you can see, I run my Pikachu Libre here, because this is my 7th try to reach Legend with it. And my opponent stayed in for a long time before switching into a Azumarill, and usually if they have Hydro Pump, they would switch into it immediately to try to take switch advantage, but now I just assume that they don't have Hydro Pump. Otherwise, if Azumarill is in the lead, then it's basically a 50-50 call, almost. It varies from day to day and season to season. So I'm just not going to shield anything and let them waste their energy on Ice Beams and maybe a Play Rough. So now I have a charge move ready and I immediately throw Stone Edge, because I was hoping that my opponent would come in with Lickitung, but he came in with a Medicham and farms me down with a quick counter. And then I'm still in a playable spot, but it's never that good when you have a Pikachu Libre because it's so glassy. And my opponent's energy that he farmed up in the beginning came really handy here. So I go for a Flying Press, and hopefully they don't shield, because a Flying Press would actually deal a ton of damage. But my opponent is already at the next Body Slam and takes me out. So now I have to overcharge a bunch of energy so that I can outpace the Medicham to 2 charge move before they have 2 Psychics, but my opponent was just slightly too fast to the Power Whip. So I had to take the guess that they only were at the Body Slam, and now they have a shield and will be able to farm me down with counters. So that was a rough first game, and here I just gave up on Pikachu Libre and just wanted to hit Legend. Next up is Tickleon, and he leads with a Ninetales, which is amazing, and now I've gone back to my tryhard line with Trevenant instead, and they go into Swampert and I hard counter them with Trevenant. I immediately go into the Seed Bomb, because I don't want to deal with any Sludge Bombs or stuff like that when I'm in such a good position, and they immediately resigns, which is understandable. Next up is a game against Chianti in game number 3 of the set, and she leads with a Lickitung, which is great for Bastiodon, and once again it's bad for my backline, so I'm definitely going to stay in and just charge up as much energy as possible before throwing. And it seems like she's actually deciding to stay in with the Lickitung and do Power Whips. So I go up to 96 energy before throwing my Stone Edge, and that's arguably a mistake, because then that's the easiest charge move ever to catch, when you know that the opponent is going to hit 100 energy soon. And then I'm sloppy with my counting, so I make a mistake here and let them reach another Power Whip. So I should have done 1 less Smackdown before going for the second Stone Edge, so that's just bad play by me. And then they go into a Blastoise, and I need alignment here, so I'm not switching into either one, and I let my Bastiodon go down. And then it turns out they have Blastoise and Shadow Beedrill in the back. And even though I have type advantage here, resisting the poison jabs, if you're familiar with some of the Sylph metas, then this is definitely not a one-sided matchup, because just 1 Drill Run plus the poison jabs are going to take out the Froslass. So I'm actually going to let my Froslass go down, because the Beedrill has energy advantage, and then I will trust in my Trevenant to be able to farm down this Shadow Beedrill, and then I will easily be quicker to 2 Seed Bombs before my opponent's Blastoise reach an eventual Ice Beam if they carry it. So that's gonna be a good game. Moving on to game number 4 of the set against Caspian Pike, and he leads with a K9, so that's once again a great lead for Bastiodon, and Bastiodon is such a great lead because in neutral matchup it can usually just outbulk my opponent or get shield advantage, and there are also tons of matchup that it wins. But my opponent safe switches into Sableye, which is a bit of a dilemma for this team, because Sableye defeats my entire backline, and now he also has a K9 that destroys my backline. So what I need to do here is I sacrifice my Trevenant completely, just to bait out the Ninetales in the back, so that my Bastiodon with some health left can at least deal with it. So now I'm actually not able to reach my second charge move, so it would probably have been better to just bait there and reach 2 seed bombs instead, because I'm likely to get a shield and they are likely to let one of them go. So now I have to shield my Bastiodon because the Ninetales is still way too strong for my froslass to deal with, but then my opponent makes a kind of dubious play to go back into the Medicham instead of letting my Bastiodon be taken out by a weather ball. So now I charge up to 2 avalanches and go back to back to take out both the Medicham and the Ninetales. So at this point I'm at 3-1, and one more win would almost certainly put me into Legend, so now I'm just contemplating for a while whether or not I want to try with the Pikachu Libre one more time, or if I just should take the Legend and get it done with. And I decide to just get it over with. So now I'm up against B-Tower and I have a terrible lead, so I go straight into Froslass, and Froslass is a great safe switch, so if you don't know what safe switch to run, I can definitely recommend it. And my opponent goes into a Shadow Skuntank, and the thing here is that with energy advantage there's no way that the Skuntank can outpace my Froslass, and my opponent realized that and resigns. So that was an easy last game. So that's it for the battles, and I will just claim these rewards and catch my Meditite, and then I will show the legend animation and the rewards. So that's it. Thanks for watching.